We are officially in the second half of the year, and maybe you are looking back at the goals that you did at the beginning of the year and think, I really thought I would be much ahead than what I am right now. And again, maybe your goals were to become more healthy, to become more confident, to become more disciplined, and to be more organized. All of the type of goals that we normally have at the beginning of the year. But life happened and you lost motivation. You returned to your old habits, you became a busier person, you got distracted or maybe overwhelmed, and now part of you feels that you have to wait for the next year for you actually to do what you want to do. But I'm here to remind you that that's not true. You do not need to wait for the beginning of January for you to then plan your goals and start to do everything new again. Because when you reinvent yourself, it's not about you pretending to be someone that you are not, but it's about deciding that the habits, the beliefs, the standards that you have created along your life are no longer going to control you in this new chapter that you want to have. So again, in this video, I want to show you what reinventing yourself actually requires and literally give you a clear plan that you can use today. The first thing is you need to be honest about what is no longer working. Before you decide who you want to become, you need to understand what is keeping you the way you are. A lot of us say that we feel stuck, but we never stop to identify what is specifically keeping us stuck, or what is the patterns that are actually creating that type of feeling in us. Maybe you are someone that is constantly delaying things until you actually feel motivated. Maybe the problem is your phone, that it's keeping you hours away from what you actually need to do. Maybe you keep returning to people and environments that no longer serve you and that actually make you feel very insecure and very exhausted. Or maybe in your head you keep on repeating the same things. I'm not disciplined, I always give up, I'm not confident enough, without understanding that if you repeat that to yourself, then that's what you're going to become. So the first step is actually to complete an honest life audit about your life. You need to pick up a piece of paper. A piece of paper literally helps us organize our thoughts so much better. Take a piece of paper, divide it in three. What is draining you? What are you avoiding? And what needs to change? You need to literally put that at the top of the page. And do not write things that are very vague. Be very specific in everything that you're going to write in this paper about yourself. Because maybe what is draining you is constantly comparing yourself to others. Maybe what you are avoiding is applying for that new opportunity. Maybe what you need to change is your sleeping schedule, your spending, your boundary. All of these things is the stuff that you're going to put on this paper, because we need to all understand you cannot change something that you're avoiding. When you actually try to reinvent yourself, it all begins with honesty. You need to be very honest about the person you are for this to work. Now, the second thing that you're going to do is actually decide who you want to become. Many people, they just focus on what they want to achieve. They say, I want to lose weight, I want to save money, I want to post more content, I want to become more confident. But goals are easier to obtain when they are connected with your identity. So instead of asking, what do I want? Ask, who would I need to become to create that result? For example, I want to exercise more. Then I need to decide I want to become someone who moves her body constantly. Instead of saying I want to stop overspending, you need to say I want to become someone who makes decisions with her future in mind. Do you see what I'm doing there? It's not what you want, it's what you are becoming. So describe that version of yourself clearly. How does she respond when she's in a bad day? What is her priorities? You do not need to copy another woman's life, because your future self should just reflect your values, not someone else's aesthetic life. So choose the qualities you want to embody during the second half of this year, and make sure that you ask yourself each morning, what would a disciplined, peaceful, encouraged version of me be acting like? Because that will give you clear instructions of what you are not doing and what you should do. So again, reinventing yourself becomes much clearer when you know the identity behind it. The third thing is focus on one thing. Look, I know a lot of people like to focus on different things, and I know that for some people it does work. I don't know how, but it does. But for majority of us, it doesn't, okay? So trying to change your whole life, working in every area of your life, is not going to work. Or it might if you are the 1%. And I honestly say trying to change your whole life at once is the quickest way for you to become the same. You create a perfect routine with new habits, follow it for like a couple of days, and then you literally just feel exhausted, you miss it, and then you don't want to do it anymore. Understand that reinventing yourself does not happen as quick as putting the food in the microwave, waiting for 1 minute, and then it's going to come prepared. No, it's not like that. The new version of you happens because you repeatedly keep small promises to yourself. So choose the area that you would like to create this big improvement and then focus on it. It might be your finances, it might be your confidence, it might be your career, your mental well-being, I don't know. But once you choose, you're then going to choose one action that you're going to repeat. If you're focused on your health, then your small action may actually be, I'm going to walk for 20 minutes, and you keep that each day. If what you're working on is your confidence, then you're going to do one uncomfortable thing each week. For example, if your focus is organization, then you're going to organize one thing each day or each week. Because when we talk about small actions, it might not feel like a dramatic reinvention, but the truth is that they create evidence. And I spoke about this. Evidence proves to your brain who you're actually becoming. Every time you follow through, you prove that you are capable of becoming someone different. And again, confidence is not something that you wait to feel. It's something you build by watching yourself do what you said you would do. The fourth thing is that sometimes you keep yourself in the environment that keep reactivating the old you. You cannot demand willpower when you surround yourself with things and people that make your old habits easier. Your environment includes everything: your phone, your room, the people around you, everything that consumes you. If you want to sleep before bed but you have your phone right beside you, you will simply go on it. If you want to eat differently but you never prepare anything in advance, you will eat what you are familiar with eating. If you want to be more positive but you spend hours consuming different content, different things that are just negative, honestly, where do you think you're going to go? We need to make new habits easier and your old habits more inconvenient, because that's the only way that you're going to stick to it. And you may be saying, Claudia, it's not everything that I can change. And I agree with you. There's not everything that you can change, but you can change what receives your attention, because your environment and everything around you needs to remind you of who you want to become, not constantly pulling you back to the version that you're actually trying to get away from. The fifth thing is, if you really want to be in this journey, please, I beg you, expect discomfort and expect for it not to be easy. Expect for it to be days where you're completely awful at whatever you're trying to do, because it's just going to happen. And I'm just literally letting you know, you're going to have imperfect days. One thing people do not speak about enough is that there's going to be uncomfortable days. There's going to be days that you're not going to be able to do fully what you want to do. You can actually feel very uncomfortable in everything that you're trying to set. The new routines are not going to feel natural out of a sudden. The boundaries that you're trying to create 100% will disappoint people. And I did a whole video about that when you are growing, is going to be lonely. It's just how it is. And you're going to be able to see that your old habits will always want to creep in when you are in stressful moments. But again, I always say the vision is not for you to become someone who never struggles with anything, or to completely become a version of yourself that you are not at this moment in time. The goal is for you to become someone who knows how to recover. And again, talking about someone that wants to focus on their health, if today you didn't walk for 20 minutes, do not let that put you down. If you didn't do it today, go tomorrow. If for a moment today you completely lost your confidence, take one small action that's going to reconnect you with the person that you are in the process of becoming. But turning a whole bad day for a reason for you to stop is not reasonable, and please don't do it. The process takes time. The journey is not easy. You're going to have up and downs. It's meant to be like that. It's not meant for you to give up, but it's actually allowing you to be stronger along the process. And again, when you are reinventing yourself, it does require very much emotional discipline. The ability of feeling all of those things without giving up on yourself, it's something that you are able to do, but it's going to be hard. Sixth one is actually create your plan. And I have to say this, there's no point on you trying to create a plan that has 13 steps. If you know yourself and you know that you're not going to be able to do it, just scratch it. Don't do it. There's no point. Do something that you know that you're going to be able to do it. It's so crazy. I see so many people do this, and honestly frustrates me sometimes, because why are you doing a 13-minute step plan when you know that that's too much for you to take? There's people, okay, fine, they can take 30 steps. For them it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, that's fine. But if you know that for you it's not, don't try to copy. Just because someone is doing 30-step plans, you are going to do 30-step plans that you're going to fail, because it's not realistic to who you are. So do plans that are simple. I truly feel that this society lost the touch with simplicity. Sometimes we have to be simple for us to see our life to change. Our life does not need complicated stuff for it to start moving. And literally, this is the recipe for everything. So whatever you are trying to reinvent yourself into, make it easy. Make it something that you know that you're going to be able to stick with. Again, you don't need a plan to reset your whole life. Start with something small. Choose one identity, one main focus, one daily habit, and one thing that you're going to remove. If you focus on those 4 things, is more than enough for you to reach where you want to reach. Because what you want is clarity. When you focus on your identity, you are focusing on who you want to become. When you look at the main focus, you are looking at what area of your life needs the attention now. When you focus on one daily habit, you are focusing on one thing, one action that you're going to do repeatedly throughout 1 to 3 months if necessary, until it becomes normal to you. And one thing that you need to remove is there are things inside of us that need to go away within this process. So you're going to focus on which distraction, which habit, or which influence is actually keeping you stuck. And apart from these 4 things, the only thing you're going to do is just to track your process each week. Not to punish yourself, but actually to know where you are, for you to collect enough evidence for you to then analyze. So at the end of the week, ask yourself what worked, what didn't, what habits were actually difficult, and what do you need to adjust to make it work. That's it. Do not keep creating like a new plan and a new personality every Monday. It's not going to be worth it. Whatever you choose, just give it enough time to become part of your life. And at the end of a month, maybe 2 or 3, you might not look completely different, but you will see a difference. So again, the second half of the year does not need to become another deadline that makes you feel behind. Maybe the first half for you didn't work, and that's fine, because maybe the first half of this year has showed you what was not working, and maybe it revealed the habits, the relationships, the beliefs that you finally need to change. Do not think that that time was wasted, because it gives you a lot of information, and I do not believe on wasted time. Whatever happens to you happens for a reason, so believe on that. So tell me in the comments, what is one area of your life you are reinventing during the second half of the year? I would love to know. And subscribe if you want to continue learning, growing, and becoming the best person that you can possibly be. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.